He's got a year to think about if he'd like to try out for that team. Right now, he may be retired, but you never know.
Well, he had a great soccer career. We got a chance to watch him play. One of the finest players in the area, and I very frankly thought he was well qualified to be on the All-State team. And there was that year there was, I think, some play by a coach from Sheboygan that I didn't agree with in terms of setting his player to be on the state team as opposed to the player that was most qualified, which I believe was Joe Cagliari.
Well, and one thing nice about Joe is he's humble. That didn't bother him. It probably bothered me more than it did him. He's a classy guy, and he's just, when the people meet him and talk to him, they're just so impressed. I'm kind of humbled to have him for a son because he is a class act. Here's the opportunity here for 32.
West with the run, crossing pass, a player open, and has a header that could have went to the far post. A miss hit off the head that went wide.
Yeah, Kambao Tao getting it to Chiking Kong. Kong with the header, just going wide. I mean, that goal scores, we've got a whole new game.
With less than a minute to play here, could have very easily brought that to a 2-1 margin as the keeper was moving to the far side where most of the attackers were. The header was played back towards the near post and played the ball wide.
I told Rick Kramer, this team is very, very close. They just need a couple of breaks to go their way, and they can be very tough to beat.
Well, they have to keep their chins up. Many cases when a team struggles with their record, they have more infighting and more issues that develop between the players because they blame each other for some of the repeated losses. But they have to hang together, work as a team, continue to work on their skills, and good things will come for them.
The other thing that's tough for West is I don't think they substitute too much, and so they can potentially get fatigued near the end of a contest.
Well, speaking of the end of the contest, we reached the halftime of the contest here at East Stadium, and the Green Bay East Red Devils hold a 2-0 margin over their crosstown rival Green Bay West Wildcats, and we'll return with more Wistar soccer action in just a moment. As we return to second half play here from East Stadium, the East team in the white with the red shorts will be attacking the goal on our right. West team will be defending that goal and move to the towards the east goal on the left end of the field, or west end. It's a relatively nice night. They had expected possible rainstorms, possible thunderstorms, and today, although it's a little humid, it's still a pretty nice night. Ball's still out in front of the net, goes off the foot of the defender, and almost skirts in the far corner of the goal. Keeper jumps back to smother that ball, or it could have very easily been 2-1. Our second half play here, West trying to quickly cut the margin from 2-0. West with a long clearing kick, and it goes past the scorers table up into the stand area. We see the Green Bay Southwest team, who's going to be playing on this field shortly thereafter, up in the stands. And the ball comes out of bounds. Throw in for the Red Devils, trying to put pressure on the Wildcats here. Again, you're joined by Wistar producer and director Gary Winters and our ace color commentator Mark Cagliari.
And Gary, I was right down there when Cam Tao had a chance to do that scissors kick into the net. You don't know how close he was to rifling that ball in there. Getting the ball right in the slot, try to do a scissors kick, and he just just missed getting solid foot on the ball.
As the ball gets cleared by Elby. Elby's got a strong booming kick. And it looks like Sanchez there with the ball tried to play it up. And West again putting a little bit more pressure here.
But you can see a sign of some of the 1-2 passing, some of the give and goes that West has developed.
The East team has had far more possession time of the ball and has probably had the best opportunities. But West has had a few there that if they could have converted, could have very easily made this a 2-2 or a 3-2 game.
And that's the way soccer is. You really get nervous when you have lots of opportunities and you don't capitalize.
West tries to play the ball out of danger. Back up into their offensive end. We'll see if the nemesis of the Red Devils will haunt them here. They're a team that has played very well in first half play. But second half play, something happens. In fact, I was teasing Coach Anthony Achella after a recent contest that he should just leave those boys alone. I don't know what he says at halftime, but somehow the switch gets turned off. They surprised some very talented teams. They were up by, I believe, a 3-2 margin over Notre Dame, and they were up over the Green Bay Southwest team by a 2-1 margin at halftime, and then went on to lose both of those contests.
And sometimes it's just a lack of confidence. So you find yourself ahead of these very good teams or the teams that are supposedly rated better than you. You're doing better than them, and you really start second-guessing yourselves. You really should just play solid, play hard, and know that you can play with that team.
It's Longley, number 2 with the ball down the line and into the corner. We lost video on that. We couldn't see him as he went down into the corner. Ball goes.
Nice save by 15. Hua Yang.
Again, the lines here along the sidelines are very difficult. It looked like it's out of bounds, but it was actually outside the football field.
Right, the inside line is the football field end line, and we do come in color. Might be hard to see though that the yellow line is the out of bounds for the soccer games, and it's only about a yard and a half from the track.
Laubenstein comes on for East. It was announced during the halftime where they introduced the parents. Laubenstein was a 4-year player for the East Red Devils. West with a corner kick here.
Hua Yang to take the kick. Gets it nice and high, maybe a little too high.
The West squad tends to be a little smaller, and so balls in the air probably work to their disadvantage because of the larger players from the East side.
Right, on a corner kick, West needs to have line drive low kicks and then have speed to beat your opponents. Tap back by East to the keeper, nice play.
Good clearing kick by the keep up to half field. And the player in offside position. As he wanders his way back into his defense or back to an onside position. West with the kick. One of the things we learned too from playing against some teams, when Preble played the
corner kick here,
Sheboygan South team recently, and then later played Cedarburg, we got to learn the nuances of the offside trap. And there might have been a trap play on that last situation where the player from East was in an offside position.
and Green Bay West has always been noted for using the offside trap. Many times they've been burned by the offside trap, but they are one team that does like to do it. Nice header, and a nice save.
Beautiful header ball, put on goal. Keeper had to reach to his full length to get up take that ball before it hit just underneath the bar.
I believe